everyone, I am back with a huge new project that I am very overwhelmed about, but also very excited to share with you. So I have been watching a lot of project pans and a lot of downsizing videos, but I just really hate the idea of getting rid of things from my collection because I feel like everything I have I bought because I was really excited to have it. So, in the attempt to have a better idea of what it is in my collection that I still love and that I still use and that I still want to use if I'm not currently using, I'm going to be doing a large-term, huge project. It's going to start with cataloging everything that I have into a Google document, and I want to do a collection video as well that's what this is today, you probably know that. I'm going to start here and then slowly work through everything that I have, and I'm also going to be doing a longer term reviewing of my products. So, for example, this is day one of a week-long review of both this foundation and the eyeshadow palette that I used to do this look with. I will have more information on that when those videos get started coming up. But I want to spend more time with the things that I have and more consistent time. I feel like I have like 22 foundations or something like that, and I feel like I've used them all probably about the same amount, but always like 1 or 2 days here or there. So I haven't really formed good opinions about a lot of things that I own. So I want to spend some more time thinking critically about the things that I own and then making decisions from there. I feel like it'll be a lot easier to get rid of something after a week of using it and being like, I really wasn't that excited to use it. I'm really glad I don't have to use it tomorrow. Maybe it's time to get rid of it. So today I'm going to start with my foundations. Hopefully also I will have time for my concealers and primers because I don't want to have to do a separate video just on them. I'm not going to go too in-depth on any of these, hopefully, because I do, like I said, plan on making more in-depth reviews of them later. I will also be doing face colors, blushes, highlights, bronzers, contours. I want to go through all of my lipsticks for sure. I have way too many mascaras, but those are really hard to go through, so I will at least do a collection video on everything. Anyway, today I'm starting with foundations, hopefully primers, concealers, and we will be going from there. If there is anything in specific that you want to see from this sort of project that you should be able to tell me now so that I can incorporate it, please let me know. And yes, I'm going to jump into the concealer stuff, so my face is going to go away. You'll see my hands and a whole bunch of other stuff, and I will see you later at some point. Okay, so these are all of my base products. I have a whole row of foundations, I have a couple powder foundations, I have a bunch of primers, and then some concealers as well. So I'm going to start up here in this corner and work my way around, just kind of tell you everything that I have, general thoughts, whether or not I think I will want to keep it. And if you have any questions or anything that you want to see specifically, let me know in the comments and I will make it happen. So first up here I have the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This is the oil-free version. It is in the Porcelain color. I like this a lot for summer days, where I don't necessarily want a whole lot of coverage, but it is definitely light coverage. It is also definitely quite pale, which, is okay with me, except that summer is when I'm not quite as pale, so yeah. Next, I have my two Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1s. I love both of these. 805 is the shade that I am right now. 810 is the shade that I am in the summer, and in between I can mix them pretty well. I will say that on me these are quite long lasting, and that on me they are pretty mattifying. Not like way too matte, but just matte enough. They're not going to leave me glowy and gross, but I don't want to use like a mattifying powder with them either. So, somewhere in the middle. You can see 805, hopefully you can see, is quite pinky. It's pinkier than the Laura Mercier, but it is about the same tone. And 810 is darker, but also a little more yellow. This is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. This is in the lightest shade. It is Light 1 Siberia. I occasionally feel like it's way too yellow, and then sometimes I feel like it's a great shade, so I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I also don't feel like I've quite found the right application method, so I'm happy to spend a week with this at some point and see if I can make it work for me, and if it doesn't, then I will pass it on to someone, and I won't feel too bad about it. Here's the NARS. You can see it is quite yellowy in comparison to those other shades. Next we have the SuperStay Better Skin from Maybelline. A friend of mine got this in her influencer box and it didn't match her because this is the lightest shade. It's in shade 10 and I am paler than her, so she gave it to me. I've only used it once or twice because the first 1 or 2 times that I used it I wasn't super impressed. but I do want to give it another chance just to see if I was being impatient. And here is SuperStay. It actually looks like it might not be a bad color match, but it is quite sheer. This is the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. This is in shade 13, and this, if you watched me at all when I first started my channel, was my go-to. I freaking loved this stuff. I just got distracted by many other things and stopped using it. This is a really good shade for me in the winter, but it's too light for me in the summer. It is almost gone as well, but I used it a couple days ago and I was really impressed by it, so I want to spend some more time with it now that I've spent more time wearing other foundations and see if it holds up. Here is shade 13 of the Missha Perfect Cover. You have seen this if you've watched some of my recent videos. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and this is in shade W12, which I do think is a little bit warm for me, and I'm not positive that I absolutely adore the finish. So again, this is something that I've worn 1 or 2 days in a row and then switched in and out with other things, so I'm not convinced that it is perfect just because I haven't spent the time to really form a good opinion about it. This guy is the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel Foundation. This is in the lightest shade. I believe it is shade 10. I love the finish of this. It's perfectly natural and dewy. I love the color of this. It's perfect color for me, but it just doesn't have the staying power, I don't think. I haven't really messed around with all of my primer options, so I would love to find a way to make it last longer because I just feel like it's beautiful. But as it is, it's only appropriate for very short-term events. This is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Full Cover, which you may have seen my first impression on this. This shade is so light, but the coverage is ridiculous. So I don't know if maybe if I mix it in with my custom cover drops, if I can get it to be a more appropriate shade. But do you see how much coverage that gets compared to everything else that I put one little dot on? And this one could just like keep going forever. It's absurd. The coverage is amazing. I just need to make the color work for me somehow. Here we have Benefit the Big Easy. This guy I haven't used in quite a while, and the SPF is now expired, so I don't know how much that's going to affect the product itself. It's more of a cream to powder, and I would really call it a foundation, not a BB cream. I hate when things are called BB creams, and they shouldn't be, but the color match is actually pretty decent. This is the Sephora 10-Hour Foundation. They've had this forever as far as I know, and this is in the shade 05. A light. I have only used this once or twice, so I have no opinion on this. It is super pink. Oh my god, so pink. My arm is just about full, so let's kind of review these colors in case you're curious. Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, Covergirl Outlast in 805 and 810, the NARS Weightless Luminous, then we have Revlon SuperStay, which you can't even see, Missha Perfect Cover in 13, L'Oreal True Match Lumi, Marc Jacobs Genius Gel, Marc Jacobs Remarkable Full Cover, the Benefit BB, and Sephora 10-Hour. This is Revlon Color Stay, and this was my life back in the day, but I have not used this in ages. I feel like maybe it's starting to separate. I'm not really sure, so I just need to shake this one up and find out what's happening. It still smells exactly like it's supposed to smell, so I'm going to assume it's okay, but that is like the least amount of coverage I've ever seen in anything ever. Here I have 2 of my custom cover drops. These are both from Cover FX. My 2. I don't have more than 2. I only have 2 Cover FX custom cover drops. I have them in the shade in 10 and in 25 because I got in 25 in gratis, and then I bought myself in 10. I like them both. They are summer color, winter color. Here's in 10. Here's in 25. I have the Hourglass Illusion Tinted Moisturizer. This is in the shade Shell, and this is the old packaging because the old packaging was horrible, so thankfully they have repackaged it. This is what I'm wearing today, so this will be my first big review. It's actually a pretty nice color, though. I like this a lot so far. Finally, in my liquid foundation category, I have the Dr. Jart Premium Beauty Balm. This is way too dark for me most of the year. Like, the very end of the summer, it's okay, but I always forget to pull it out at the end of the summer. Except right now, it looks okay on my arm. But you can see you almost can't even see it because it has just blended exactly into my arm, which means that it's a lot darker than anything else that's there. Then I have 3 powder foundations here. This one is literally like 5 years old. This is from before I used to love Everyday Minerals, and then they got bought by someone, and I don't even know what's going on in there. I don't even know if they still exist anymore, to be quite honest. But this was one of the very first foundations that I just absolutely loved. It's a powder foundation, but it is quite illuminating, so it's really beautiful. Here I have the Too Faced Powder Foundation, the Cocoa Foundation. This is in the shade Fair, and you can see I have hit pan pretty well on this one. I use it a lot as a setting powder. It's a good color. It's a little bit yellow. And I have the Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation. This is in the shade 45 light. And I like this shade a lot, and it's super mattifying. There's a clear spot. You can't really see any of these powder foundations because that's kind of what they do. So to recap these, I started with the Revlon Color Stay. I have the Custom Cover Drops in N10 and N25. I have Hourglass Immaculate, Dr. Jart BB Cream, and then I have my 3 powder foundations. Everyday Minerals Base in one of the light shades. I didn't even say in Fair. Too Faced Powder Foundation in Light, and the Kat Von D in 45. If those names are wrong, check down in the description box. Those will be correct. I have several primers here, and I need to work my way through these. So I have a hydrating primer from Laura Mercier. This basically just feels like a moisturizer. I have an illuminating primer from L'Oreal. This one's quite silvery versus the Dior Glow Maximizer, which is quite golden. This is a deluxe size because I got this in gratis. I can tell you which ones I got in gratis later. This is the Bare Minerals Blemish Remedy Mattifying Prep Gel. It goes on like a gel. It's super mattifying. I think it might have broken me out, so I need to test that a little bit more. This is Philosophy No Reason to Hide. It is a tinted sunscreen, basically. It does say Perfecting Moisturizer, so there's definitely not enough tint in this to use as a foundation, but I like it on a day when I want to put on nothing else, but I feel like I have a little bit too much redness. This is the Benefit Professional. I have finished a full one of these before. I think this one I got in gratis, but I have paid for my own. I love Professional. And then my mother-in-law just gave me these 2 samples of the Smashbox primer. I've never used any Smashbox primers before, so I'm excited to give them a shot because I know that they are very popular. I have a little tiny one of the Photo Finish Oil-Free and a slightly larger one. This is 0.5 fluid ounces of the Photo Finish Light Oil-Free. Then I have a whole bunch of concealers. So first of all, I have this Everyday Minerals. This is really like a yellow setting powder, so now that I know how that works, I should give this a shot. I use this one all the time in videos. This is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 15. It doesn't say anything on it anywhere because I've had it for so long, so I'm going to keep using this one and finish it up because I really like it and I just need to be done with it. This is the First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy Balm. It comes out quite pinky, and I really like it it's supposed to be like half eye cream, half color correcting. It does color correct a little bit, and some days I just don't want to really wear concealer, so I'll use this instead. This is very similar. This is the Benefit Puff Off. Again, this one is quite pinky when it comes out, so it's really meant to depuff, and it's the same kind of idea where it has like a little metal thing where you put it on. I think that's really gimmicky, but I do like the product, again, for kind of the same usage that I have for this. This is maybe like as old as I am. That's not true, but I bought it in college, so I am actually just going to throw this away. Like, the lid is even broken, so I'm sure that this is absolutely no good anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and destash this. This is the Lancome Efficarnes. No one knows how to say this because I'm not French, and this is in the shade Porcelain 1. This is one of the very first things that I bought from Sephora, and I spent a lot of money on this, and I like it, but it doesn't like blow me away. I wouldn't say it's worth the money. I want to finish it because I spent money on it and I do enjoy it. This is the Laura Mercier High Coverage Under Eye Concealer, and this is in the shade 0.5. I got this in gratis twice, actually. I got it once in a shade that was too dark, and then they gave it to me again in the actual right shade. And it's just really, really thick, so I haven't found a good way to make it work, but I also haven't tried that hard, so I'm going to keep working with this. And this is the Maybelline Master Conceal. This is in the shade 10 Fair. This is one of the reasons that I have been on a no-buy and that I want to start working through everything that I have later, because there was no reason for me to buy this. Like, literally no reason. I think I read a couple reviews where people were like, hey, I kind of really like this, or people like mentioned it on YouTube, and that was it, and that's why I bought it, and that is the dumbest reason, because clearly I don't need more concealer. So thank you, Master Conceal, for teaching me what's going on in my life. So I think these are all of my foundations, concealers, and primers. I don't think that I forgot anything. If I did, I will mention it at some point in an upcoming video. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to see, if you have a foundation that you would really like me to put on top of my list, let me know. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.